These crazy gatekeepers, how do we get through to them, right? How do we get through to them? A lot of them, look, I just want to say too, like these gatekeepers, make sure you like and subscribe, by the way. But gatekeepers, like when I'm thinking about them, I guess they're not the enemy, number one, and their job is to do what? Like they're actually paid to audit the call to see if that you should even speak with the owner. So your job isn't to manipulate them, trick them, overpower them. Your job is to make them feel like you're someone who should probably speak with the owner. So I want you to think about this, right? The average small business owner gets interrupted, gosh, probably hundreds and thousands of times every week by salespeople, vendors, scammers, even cold callers, recruiters. The gatekeeper exists because the owner's attention is one of the most valuable assets in the business. And if you sound like everyone else, dude, you're going to get treated like everyone else, right? It's just the name of the game. So I want to teach you the psychology of a gatekeeper. You have to understand the gatekeeper has one primary objective, and that's to protect the owner's time. Notice I didn't say reject any salespeople. I said protect time. If they believe you're wasting time, look, it's game over. Okay? If they believe, hey, maybe there's a possibility that this person can help the business out, well, now you become interesting. See, like your tone is going to determine which category you fall into before they ever process your words. And this is why elite salespeople, hey, don't sound too excited, right? Never too desperate or rehearsed. They sound busy, but calm, professional, almost as if they're expecting to get through, right? You see, confidence transfers, and that neediness kind of repels that gatekeeper and says, hey, well, let me write your name down and let me write all of this down. So that's what we want to avoid. That's what we want to get away from. And that's why you're coming across needy and you're being repelled. And you're experiencing those things. So go ahead and write down biggest mistake number one. Or let me show you how this goes. Hi, is the owner available? A lot of you get on the call and you say that. And I want you to know, and I hate to break you the news, but that is terrible, right? Look, because now you're forced them to do their job, and their brain immediately says, well, who is this person? What's this about? And can I get rid of them? Instead, assume familiarity. So let me show you how it's done. Hey, Sarah, is John around? What's he doing? Hey, is John around? What's he doing? I was wondering if he was available. I'm looking to talk with him. Hey, say nothing more. And notice what happens psychologically. You sound like someone who already knows John, not someone trying to sell John. And that's a small difference, but a huge outcome, right? The other mistake that you guys do is you oversell yourself. So, let me give you an example. Hi, my name is Nathan with ABC Accounting, and we've helped thousands of businesses reduce taxes. Guys, they stop listening after the first sentence. Your pitch, okay? Your pitch is throwing them off. You're pitching someone who can't buy. They're like, what is this? So you don't want to sell the gatekeeper. You want to sell curiosity. A better example for that would be something like, hey, Sarah, I was hoping to steal 5 minutes from John today. Well, it's simple, it's natural, and it's human, right? The other big mistake is talking too much, right? Salespeople think that information creates trust. A lot of you guys think that. And yes, I know you're an accountant, but you're also a salesperson. It is what it is. Also, this stuff applies to every industry, but you're talking too much, right? Salespeople think information creates trust. It doesn't. What does is clarity. So look, the more you explain, the more reasons they find to reject you. So you got to keep everything short, and every sentence should create another question. Look, I want to say too, if they ask, what is this regarding? That's normal. They're just qualifying you. They're not rejecting you, right? So let me give you a good word track. So let's say they say something like, what did I just say? What is this regarding? What I want you to say back to them is, it's about something we noticed that could be costing the business money. Well, people, look, that's a great thing to say because people are naturally wired to investigate loss. Loss is psychologically stronger than gain. So they're like, what are you talking about? What'd you notice, right? Talk to me here. So all of a sudden, they're advancing the sell. Hey, word track number 2, it's regarding their accounting process. It's short, it's professional, it's not a pitch, okay? Word track number 3, I've got a question specifically for John about the financial side of the business. Hey, is John around? I've got a question for him, specifically about the financial side of the business. You hear I'm talking? Again, simple and no presentation. That's how we want to roll, right? Want to come in there like an assassin, baby. You know what I'm saying? That's how you got to be. You got to be that way. So the other thing is the curiosity principle. Look, you have to understand that humans hate unfinished information. It's called an information gap. So instead of telling them everything, leave enough missing that transferring you becomes easier than interrogating you. So instead of we offer bookkeeping, payroll, tax, CFO services, just say this instead. Hey, I just had a question regarding how they're currently handling their bookkeeping. Done, right? The assumptive transfer. One of my favorite techniques here is the assumptive transfer. I don't want you to ask for permission repeatedly. Look, just lead them naturally. It's not hard to do. Hey, let me show you how it's done. Hey, can I speak to John? That's what you don't want to say. Instead, you flip it, is John around? Or is John in today? Or what's the best extension for John? Tiny language, massive difference. And another thing, like, sound like a peer. Look, business owners talk differently than salespeople. They're direct, efficient, matter of fact, and if you sound like another owner, gatekeepers, what they're going to do is assume you belong, and that's how you want to be. So I guess what do I mean by that? Like, you got to speak like a boss, like a big dog. You come in all like, yeah, I want to go over products and stuff like this and stuff like that. Dude, you sound like a salesperson. Like, especially if you're watching this and you're a firm owner, it's like you need to lead with authority at all times. You need to get in there, you need to tell them what you're looking for, and you need to get transferred. Well, when's he around? He's not around right now. When's he around? Was John expecting your call? I don't know. Maybe. Haven't talked to him in a while. Just talked to him last week. It doesn't matter. Your job is to talk to the owner. It's like, get to the owner, get the job done. Okay, a lot of you are too passive and soft and weak-minded, and I think that's your problem. And what do I mean by that? Well, Nathan, I don't want to act like I know someone I don't know. Okay, well, do you want money or not? Do you want to help that business or not? Like, you got to get over your own thinking. So, yeah, I'll leave it at that. But basically, essentially what I'm saying right here is don't let your thoughts limit you. So you may feel a certain way or you may think a certain way, but at the end of the day, you need to speak like a business owner, especially if you are one. Okay, that's that. But the other thing is it called advancing the sale. And I don't think people understand how important that is. It doesn't mean tricking, it doesn't mean anything like that. But if you genuinely love and believe that what you do can help solve a problem, then you need to use these tactics that I teach you so that you can get through to the actual business owner. So if that means acting like you know the guy and talking like you know the gal, then so be it. Okay? Get them on the phone and then kick their butt. That's what it's all about. So you have to think like a lion. You know, I've never seen a lion, and comment in the sections below if I'm wrong, but I guess I've never seen a lion prey on a gazelle and then go in for the kill and then not do it. I've never seen that. So that's kind of what I'm comparing this to the more I think about it. So they didn't put that in, the lesson here, but it's true. So anyways, the status effect, I'd like to cover that. So when you hear the status effect, look, people defer to perceived status. Status doesn't come from arrogance, okay? It comes from certainty. No upward inflection, no nervous laughter, no rambling. Look, you need to be cool Joe, okay? Calm, relaxed, and certain. If they say, can I take a message? Don't immediately leave one. Try this instead. I definitely can, but before I do, is John usually the person handling the financial side, or is that shifted to someone else? Now you're gathering intelligence, right? If they say, we already have an accountant, this is what you say. Perfect, John. Well, most people do. I just wanted to see if there was anything that I could do more, or if there was any way that I could better help your business. Boom. So never argue and never defend. Another thing you could say to him is absolutely, I actually assume that. Quick question. When was the last time someone gave you ideas instead of just filing returns? Boom. So either option is beautiful. Well, now you're separating compliance from advisory. Another version you could say to him is hey, John, that makes sense. Most of the businesses I work with already have an accountant. Usually they're looking for another perspective on improving cash flow, finding tax-saving opportunities, or tightening up their financial processes. Well, now you're different, right? So look, if they say just send me an email, never sound disappointed, smile, and then respond, hey, I'd be happy to. What's usually the best email for John? And before I send it, hey, what tends to get his attention these days? Now you've gathered information instead of just sending the call. Now, if they refuse entirely, let's say they refuse completely, just stay calm. You don't need to burn the bridge. Hey, look, I completely understand, but before I let you go, can I ask you one quick question? And guys, most people say yes, okay? And then ask something useful. What accounting issue seems to take up most of the time around there? Now you've collected ammo for the next call. All right, hope that helps you out. So I want to go to another kind of strategy shift here in the video. It's like call at different times. It's like, to me, that's common sense. But a lot of you become lazy and mundane and all weird, and you stay the same, and you get these weird patterns and routines and do these kinds of things. And I like to be electric, baby. I like to switch things up and challenge the same routine. I think that's really weird. I don't think you should do that. And yeah, I say the word weird a lot. A lot of people, Nate, that's not that professional. I don't really care because when I'm a human and I talk like one, and people know what I mean when I'm saying that. And not everything has to be so insane all the time. And who am I talking to? A lot of the finance people. You guys are really analytical, and I think you need to look at when you're communicating with business owners. I think you need to be a little bit more personable and let your guard down and talk more in a conversation sense. But anyways, man, I think I've gone down 2 rabbit holes in this video. That's uncommon for me, especially if you follow the channel and be aware of that. But like, look at it like this. You got to call at different times, okay? If you've been blocked 3 times, stop calling at the same darn time. The point I was trying to make is, if you're not getting results, do something different. You should do something different. You should change and get better every day. So, if you're going, let's say, I think 7 a.m. is a little early. 7 a.m. might be a little early to call business owners, but you should. I think you should try. And here's why. It's like because they're in there. So maybe, I think the best times to be calling would be 7:45 to 8:15 a.m. They're typically in there doing stuff. I would say a lot of business owners definitely take their lunch breaks around 2 o'clock. Some don't even start work until later in the day. So look, like 7:45 to 8:15, 11:45, maybe to 12:15, 2 to 3, they're probably gone. 12:15 to 1, they're probably gone. You definitely get them 4:30 to 5:30, definitely 6 or 7. So sometimes you guys go home by 5 and stuff like that, where the business owner, you got to think, they don't operate like you. Like, totally different. And a lot of you are business owners who watch this, so you totally get what I mean. Might be in early, definitely in late. Your schedule's all over the place. So you just got to hit them at different times. Owners aren't often more accessible before the office is fully running around lunch. Honestly thinking. No, look. It's like this. The best times to get hold of the owner would be in the morning time, pretty early, and I would say any time after 2 o'clock. But if you've got that dog mentality in you, dude, reach out to them constantly. I think what a lot of people don't understand is that business owners are so crazy. Like, they love people who are similar to them. So if you're one of those people that, you have high work ethic, or you consider yourself like a psycho and all of that kind of stuff, like, dude, just call them at 8 o'clock at night. They love that. They literally love that kind of stuff. You know why? Because that reminds them of them. And that people love to buy from people who remind them of themselves. So, again, another rabbit hole. Hey, but you're getting all the lessons today, right? You're learning all the good stuff today. But that kind of leads to another thing, like reaching out to them. Use multiple channels. When you need to consider yourself an elite closer, an elite learner, also an elite prospectors. Okay? And elite prospectors don't rely on one path. If you're calling, you need to collect on LinkedIn. You need to send personalized emails. Oh my gosh, there's so many of those robot AIs out there. Just use them, right? Have them send them up for you. Send them over. Like, you guys, you got so much technology at your fingertips. Just use it, right? Leave a short voicemail. Call again a few days later. Make commitment to it. Go to their social medias and leave messages on the page. Comment on a recent post if they're active. Mail a handwritten note or one-page insight if the opportunity justifies it. You have to realize familiarity lowers resistance. So by the time you reach them live, you're no longer a complete stranger. I wish more people knew that the importance of perspective, and that the gatekeeper is not your enemy. It's just a person doing their job. You don't just have to get past them. That person knows the business. They might help you if you can make their job easier. So treat them with respect. Remember their name. Thank them. Be genuinely pleasant. Hey, if you call back later, hey Sarah, thanks again for helping me out the other day. I was looking to speak with Johnny. Is he in today? Right? This instantly separates you from 99% of the cold callers. Also, just talk to them like they're your aunt and your uncle. I can't stress that enough. Just talk to them like you know them. They love them. Gatekeepers are wild. It's just a brain. Just remember that. Brains all have different personalities. It's just a brain. Talk to them like you know it. They love it. Like you know them, they love it. The $1 million mindset is this. The goal is never to beat them. The goal is to become someone the gatekeeper feels comfortable transferring over to their boss. So when you combine that calm confidence, short professional language, genuine respect, you stop sounding like a salesperson and you start sounding like the owner actually needs to speak with you, and you're someone of importance and that you matter and those kinds of things. And that's when the gatekeeper stops protecting the owner from you and they start helping you reach them. So guys, I hope this video was helpful. Look to see many more come through the channel, baby. I'm going to keep ripping them off. Hopefully keep learning at the highest level.